Welcome to North Carolina Wine TV Food Friday. I'm your co-host with a big finger, Jeff Cohen.
I'm your other co-host, Kip Bodner, and I'm still pumped from yesterday.
Because we're drinking wine that Kip really likes.
We're drinking some Viognier Roussanne Blend from Junius Lindsey, and we are going to rock it with some bread and cheese.
Bread and cheese that goes with wine. It's got to be good.
Bread and cheese is kind of like the cliche thing.
Yeah.
We're going with it because, this is kind of an uncliche wine. It's a wine that not a lot of people drink, so we're going to go, but we're using an uncliche bread today.
That's right. And an uncliche cheese.
Yeah, I think so. We're rocking some garlic naan, which is like traditional Middle Eastern flatbread.
Indian flatbread.
Garlic flavoring.
Yep.
And some white cheddar. So some really sharp white cheddar cheese. So we're going to see how both of these rock it with this very rich, full-bodied white wine.
That's right. And if you saw a review yesterday, you'll notice that, or you'll remember that, or you'll see that. Mm-hmm. Kip loved this wine. I was really intrigued by it, and I wanted to try it with food. Mm-hmm. And towards the end of the episode, I said, well, this wine actually tastes like cheese. Yeah. So today we came back cheese. And we said, well, we'll try it with cheese and see how it goes.
So I'm going to say that we go with cheese first.
Okay, and before we do that, we just want to thank you.
Yes.
For watching our show.
Thank you for all your support, for telling people about what we're doing. Awesomeness.
That's right. And if you want to get in touch with us, look down there. You can email us. You can follow us on RSS. You can follow us on Twitter. Fan us on Facebook. You can even subscribe to us on iTunes.
Basically, we are trying to make it as stupidly easily as possible for you to watch the show if you care to watch it.
You can even get it in your email.
The only thing that I would really like to ask of you is if you could leave us a comment whenever you watch the show. I would really appreciate it. It would make me really happy. I will read it. I will respond to it. I will love it. To know that people appreciate what we're doing is awesome, and comments only just help make that even awesomer. So, really appreciate the support.
And speaking of thank you, Michael Zimmerman from Junius Lindsey Winery for providing this bottle of wine for us to taste.
Because, I'm still drinking it.
That's right, because Kip loves Roussanne, and that's why we have it.
Wine does kind of taste like cheese. I'm going to rock it with some cheese now.
So on Food Friday, first we try the wine, and then we have some food, and then we try the wine again, see if it's changed.
That's very sharp white cheddar cheese. Creamy, slightly bitter, slightly salty. Excuse me.
Slightly sneezy?
Slightly sneezy even.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a dwarf.
There was never a dwarf named Creamy.
That'd be bad on so many levels, right?
Or salty. We're done with that joke. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. That joke's going to go a bad place.
Yeah, we're going downhill quick.
It's a big wine. That wine stands up to that cheese.
That does.
No problem.
That does.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Like, this is a white wine you could have with some hearty food.
Yeah, I'm having some bread.
Bread's so good.
I need some bread after all the wine I've had today, on Friday. Only today.
I mean, this wine stands up to this food so well. The food kind of mutes that bitterness at the back end that you were talking about yesterday. Makes it a little bit more tropical, I think. I'm going to go back to the cheese. So the cheese is kind of creamy, but really still sharp and a little bitter. The cheese really brings out like a peach apricot flavor, really heavy in the wine. But the wine still holds its body really well. Transitions kind of an apple pear-esque kind of flavor, but finishes a lot smoother. Cuts some of the acidity in the back end and really takes that bitterness, but the wine kind of finishes earthy. Almost kind of finishes like a portobello mushroom, like kind of an earthy mushroom taste is kind of left in my mouth after the cheese.
What do you think of the wine? How do you think this wine would go with something much heartier, like maybe
Veal.
or like a chicken stew.
I think you could rock it. I mean, this is a big wine.
It's a big wine.
This is a food wine.
Yeah.
This is a food white wine that, like, few that we've had on the show. I say that because probably more than any other Food Friday wine, I'm going to see if you agree with me, this wine holds up to food.
It does.
I mean, it holds its original body and flavor with food more than any other wine we've ever had. What do you think?
Yeah. And I'm holding up some bread and cheese.
The wine brings out the sweet yeastiness of the bread. Makes the bread really nice, actually. Makes the bread really nice. Go back to yesterday. We called this wine the Thinker.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna stay with it because this is bread, cheese, fruit. This kind of light fare is what you'd have while you were talking, contemplating the vast awesomeness of life and that kind of thing. And I think that's what this wine is for. This wine is for that. It's not. It's for sitting and talking with somebody who you really respect, and you just want to talk for an hour or two, and you really want to get into it. You want to talk about kind of more than, hey, how was your day? It was okay. It was like, what does this mean? Getting deep.
That's right. It's not a sit on the porch summer wine like many light crisp whites are.
This is a winter white wine.
It's a winter white wine. It's the kind of thing you want to sit in a leather chair by a fire.
I will say more than any other wine, this is a winter white wine.
Yeah.
If you want white wine in the winter, this is your bet right here. Because at the risk of sounding stupid, it is bigger than most red wines we've reviewed on the show. And it's warmer. I mean, it's rich and warm, which is really interesting.
And what's also interesting is the wine is warming up. And as we've talked about on previous shows, most people drink white wine chilled, but in fact, as a white wine warms up, the flavors sort of open up, just like on red wine. And so it is much more flavorful.
This is definitely white wine I could drink warm,
Yep.
at room temperature. This white wine drinks like a red wine, and that's what you really need to know. If you don't like red wine, you're probably not going to like this wine. That's kind of my lesson of the day.
And as you know, we are red wine drinkers.
I get down with the big red wines. So reasons to say that I like big white wines.
Yeah.
I will say for Jeff not being sure about this wine, he has put some of this wine down.
And I like bread. And cheese.
It's really a good combination. The pineapple's still there, the peach flavor. Definitely recommend this wine. I think can stand up to any cheese, stand up to a hard Italian cheese, stand up to some blue cheese. It's just a big food-friendly white wine.
Yeah.
More than any white wine we had on the show. A lot of the white wines kind of wilted under the presence of food. This rocks it, stays hard, and definitely worth trying and seeking out. Big ups to the folks at Junius Lindsey. This pairing gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah,
thumbs up,
thumbs
from
up,
Jeff.
absolutely.
Only one thing left to do.
Here's to the Old North State.